Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thrones of Britannia. Yeah, that's right, we're doing some Thrones. I did mention a little while ago that we'd be getting into some of this, and it is time. We have a particularly massive 1v1 for you here. This one's been sent in to us by Snowman, and as always, let us go over the players on the field of battle, quickly go over army comps, and then we'll get right into it. So, we have here... Oh, you know what? It's going to be difficult to tell who is who, but I think... Yeah, okay. All right. So, we have here Wales, or Gwynd, I believe is the faction name, being played by Snowman. And then way over yonder here, in these big old boats that are facing the wrong way. Are they facing? No, they're facing the right way. We have Norse, the Norsemen, the Vikings, long axis. Let's see. Do we have any that could potentially give us an idea of what? It doesn't say. That's all right then. The Norse faction, the Vikings, the Vikinga, being controlled by the Crazy Duck. Now, I'm going to go out and say this right off the bat. Obviously, this is not like Rome 2, so we can't obviously see unit information here. We're not getting that info. All we have here... Oh, wait. Let's see. Morale, unit effect, that unit class. Man, faction symbols. Yeah, never mind. So we don't know what their stats are. And I cannot, I've said this before, much like Rome, when we did the Attila 1212 replay, I don't know, when you pair up two units of infantry against each other, who's going to come out on top. I can't, I haven't played enough to confidently say, oh, yeah, this is how this particular fight's going to turn out. It also doesn't really help that a lot of the units in Thrones of Britannia are basically the same. That being said, I do really enjoy Thrones of Britannia. I think they have great battle maps, great siege maps. Overall, it is a pretty spectacular game. Even if the campaign, well, I should say how the building slot mechanics are a little crap, but it is what it is. So, I guess we'll start... Actually, let's just start. Let's start there, because they have a ways to go to actually make it to where they need to be. But this is going to be particularly... Well, I guess... Potentially... Jeez Louise. Potentially perilous. Say that 5 times fast. For our Viking player here, as they do have to land their ships. And Wales could, if they wanted to... Ooh, I'm going to have to see if I can get the paintbrushes in here. I'm going to have to take a look at that later. Wales could, very probably, if they wanted to, line up along the shore. And as the Vikings units... The Norsemen's units are unloading. They could just stand there and chip away. But we do have some hidden units here in the forest here, along with the general unit, Royal Toulouse, Welsh Horsemen, and Welsh Horsemen. They're actually going to start to move out of the woods. Hypothetically speaking, they should still be hidden even all the way back here. You have all these buildings, and then trees, big old hill. Is this like a mine, actually? This might be like... Yeah, I think this is supposed to be like a mine. That's pretty cool. Very neat. Alright, we're going to actually fast forward this a little bit just to get this replay underway. Wales has shifted somewhat, keeping his cav hidden, which I can appreciate. Quite a bit. Looks like he's going to try and debate and potentially get a nice little rear charge off here. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And depending on where he lands, I mean, honestly, shifting over here and taking up a defensive position on this hill, potentially not a terrible idea. There we go. Overlays. You know what I don't need to see? I don't need to see what overlays we actually have up. But here we go. They're going to take position up right around here. It doesn't look like they can actually, oh no, they can. They can slip through here. So maybe they can even slip through some of these parts right here. It's interesting. All right. Once the Norsemen start getting off of their long ships, we'll slow it down. We'll go back to normal speed. But this could be... It could be difficult for them. If Wales really want to push and just harass and make it insanely difficult for them to disembark, but I have a feeling that there might have been a gentleman's agreement to allow, X amount of units land before they actually get into any type of a battle. But it actually looks like, look at that, awesome, perfect. He is actually coming over here, taking up a little bit of a defensive position along the hill. Honestly, it would not be a terrible idea to actually have his defensive line wrap around the hill and to use that to his advantage, and just really have a complete defensive position taking up on the hill, or at least just moving back and over a little bit more. Cav are in the woods over here, so they are potentially hidden. Yeah, I wonder if there is... I'm going to have to look after this, if I remember to, actually, I should say, to see if there is any... Not mods, but if there's any like, script that I can change in the game files so that I can get a paintbrush, and then... I don't know what else, actually. I wouldn't mind being able to see the unit values. But I don't know if that's even possible. I'll have to check. But again, I have a terrible memory. So I don't know that I will. We have some longbows right out on the flanks over here. It's definitely got to be a little bit careful. I mean, they definitely don't have any cav with them, so it's not too worrisome, but my lord, he has a lot of longbows here, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 longbows. That is some serious firepower.
Strike them hard.
60. 60, yes, it's all 160. Go, shots out. What is he going for first? We are going for the long axes. Probably not a terrible idea. They have no shields, so missile block chance is pretty awful. But they do pack a wallop. Those huge axes, they're great for cleaving. They probably have some decent armor penetration, I would imagine. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they have like some type of bonus against shielded units. But these guys are getting absolutely shredded here. And there they go. Fantastic. Viking Marauders making their way forward. Gonna pick and choose his targets here. We got some Viking Hunters. Definitely an archer target, or unit, I believe. Yep. They're getting focused down immediately. Actually, no, they're not. Still going after the Viking. Are they? Oh, no, they're just wavering. We have a long defensive line from the Vikings here. More Viking Hunters disembarking. Axe Hunter, is that what that was? Axe here. Herseer. Archers now. What are we firing at exactly? Are we going after the Marauders? Not a terrible target to go after, especially since you'd be firing right into their weapon arm. So that's going to make it a little bit easier to get some shots off on them. Although now it looks like they are focusing down these bowmen. Definitely not a bad move. Trying to get rid of as many of these guys as possible. Oh, they're obstructed. I think it's because they're on top of each other, so they can't fire. Actually, I do like that, actually, because it makes sense, right? If you have your guys too close to one another, they're not going to be able to fire effectively enough. Slowly but surely moving up his defensive line to meet these Vikings. Of course, he's going to have to worry a little bit. Really? Oh, they got focused down pretty good, though, huh? Mailed Axeman moving forward. They're going to have probably a little bit better defense. Look at this. He shifted his cav from one side to the next. Not a terrible idea, because it does seem like, I mean, especially with these units over here. Oh, no. They're way out on their own. So he's definitely, if he can... If the Norse player isn't paying attention, his archers over here are going to be gone, because his cav is coming in hot and fast. And is definitely looking to get a good charge off on these archers. But we have some more mailed Huskarls, Jarms, Vikings coming to land. So, oh, but they're coming in quick. I don't think they're going to land and get off the ships quick enough to be able to save these archers. And they are fully focused on what's going on over here. Sword Hussars have set up a line to try and defend, but they're not really doing enough here to protect our archers. The archers are gone. We're going to get a couple shots off, but that's about it. 60 men left out of 60. A huge charge, and these guys immediately are already wavering, and they're going to be broken and gone relatively soon. We still have more? Nope, that is all, except for a handful of ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ships. Or no, I'm sorry. 11 or 9 ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, front line, we have some engagement here. Welsh mailed axemen exploiting a little bit of a, well, not exploiting a gap, but coming around the flanks, getting ready for either a side charge or to threaten these Viking marauders here. Levy axe infantry versus retinue axe infantry. I would imagine the retinue are going to have a pretty good time against these guys. General over here is getting shot at. Viking hunters have landed here. Cavs obviously going to turn right around, go right after these guys, and that's going to be the end of the archers for the Viking player. Meanwhile, front line seems to be holding pretty well. We have longbows over here taking some shots at the front line of the Vikings. Axe Hairseer, Sword Hussar, whatever, Viking marauders. Shots coming in, going after the armored archers over here. Definitely a good target to go after, since they will be a little bit tankier than the Viking hunters. What do we got? Shield what? Shield biters. I thought it said shield blues. What the hell? Berserkers, Hearthguard. Berserkers are definitely going to be a little scary. 80 out of 80. And then, of course, the Joms Vikings. I see these guys, so immediately think of Vinland Saga. Cav has done their dirty work over here. They're going to start pulling them back. Possibly, it's probably just look for a place that they can get into. But this was a smart move on Wales's part. He's using the town to defend his flank, because I don't think you can actually get through some of these spots. But here, with the Welsh swordsman, he's setting them up. They're going to slip through one of these gaps here, I would imagine, come right around, charge into the back to go after these Huskarls. I would probably think Royal Spearmen not doing too good. They are elite spear infantry, but they are taking on 2 units. Sword Herdmen and Huskarls. I believe Huskarls do have axes. But we do have some reserves here. Viking Marauders not doing too hot. They are starting to waver. Welsh mailed swordsmen holding the front line. They've actually have moved in to back up the Valley Spearmen. Doing a pretty darn good job against the shield biters here. He doesn't have them in any type of defensive formation. Maybe the Royal or the Valley Spearsmen can't get in here. But look at this. He's just piling on to this Valley Spearman unit, trying to get them out of here. Probably trying to at least weaken the center line here and then potentially break through. But of course, we have the Welsh mailed swordsmen there ready to go. Over here, mailed axemen have charged on in, meeting the Viking Marauders and the Berserkers over here. They've actually managed to rout, or at least they're making the Great Axes fall back a little bit. They are wavering. Mailed Huskarls and the Great Axes are wavering under a hail of arrow fire, going in for a charge, but I don't think they'll last too much longer. 41, 39. They are dropping like flies, and there they go. Welsh mailed axemen now absolutely should either go and charge in against the Jorms Viking, but these guys need... I didn't realize that that happened. That is super helpful, actually, removing the foliage so you can see something. Jorms Viking, great axes, charging on in against the Welsh mailed axemen. They are definitely going to have to get focused down so that the Welsh mailed axemen have a little bit of a better time, but the great axe is already down to 60 men and wavering. Uh-oh. Over here, Royal Spearmen falling back. Big gap has been created. Vikings are exploiting it. Swords Herdmen going in against the Welsh Levy Spears as the Huscarls charge on forward. The Welsh Levy Spearmen are going to be here to stop them along with the Welsh Swordsmen. Look at that. They're shifting over, and then they're going to get a nice little side charge off. And then Generals coming in as well to aid. Probably boost morale as well, but here we go. Charging right on in. And these two Welsh mailed axemen are moving in to kind of shore up this gap. Especially here now. These Levy Spears aren't doing too hot. They're probably going to be gone relatively soonish. They are losing decisively. There's 129 of them left, but they are basically holding back 2 units. Look at that! Oh my goodness. Love to see it. Column them up. Found a gap that he could exploit, managed to slip through, causing the Sword Herdmen to respond in kind, pulling away from those spearmen and having to deal with the mailed axemen. They are probably going to have a pretty good time against the Sword Herdmen. They're already losing decisively, down to 115 men and slowly but surely dropping. Meanwhile, over here, the Huscarls, Triple Bronze Chevron, are having a pretty terrible time against the Swordsmen and the Levy Spears, and they have routed completely. And here's another gap that Wales will easily be able to exploit, slip through, and work their way around. Generals over here boosting morale, I would imagine. Yeah, we can see that there. Yeah, rally's been popped. Morale's up 3%. Welsh horsemen are moving, looking for some targets here, coming way, way over to the left flank. Uh-oh. Great axes, is that? No, that was, that's the Vikings. We got here Longbowmen coming off the field of battle. Horsemen I like to see come wide around and start hammering into the back of these Jorms Viking. How are we doing here? Mailed axemen not doing too hot. Longbowmen are, I guess they've ran out of ammo. And now they're in the thick of it. Yep, that's what it seems like. Both of them. Okay, Triple Bronze Chevron. They probably ended up earning those chevrons. So far, though, the Welsh front line is holding pretty good against the Viking hordes. Got some wavering going on from Axe Herseer. They have broken and they are routing. Potentially could come back, but I doubt it. Swords Herdmen over here are starting to waver. They might be out of here soon. That's going to create an even larger gap. There we go. Love to see it. Oh, they're going to come way around. You could slip them by there. Definitely slip. You could slip these guys there through there for sure. But here we go. Spears and swords marching around. Probably going to try and find a nice, soft, juicy target to charge into the rear of. Cav over here, Welsh Horsemen taking on some great axes. If it's anything like, actually no, not Rome 2, because I don't think axemen get a bonus, but we're talking about great axes here, so they should technically get like some sort of a bonus against Cav, just because it's a huge, giant axe. But here we go. We have 3 units of Vikings coming on in. They're going to try and take down this unit of Welsh Horsemen, I would imagine, or tie up this unit over here. Honestly, he should pull them back and just loop way, way around. But he's got to be a little careful. Longbowmen over here. That's okay. Swords Herdmen are out of here. We're still doing pretty good. Front line still holding on pretty darn well. Hearthguard General from the Vikings not doing too hot. Down to 63 men. We have 6 minutes left in this battle. Longbowmen routing, no surprise. Out of ammo, don't have much of anything left. Did they actually take care of the one unit of horse? I think they did. That is the one thing about this game, though, is Cav is very fragile in this game. Oh, no, they're right here. They were wavering. Cav is super fragile, and you have to be very selective about what you do with them. You can't really charge them into infantry, otherwise they're going to get cut down. So it's very strictly, you charge them into the rear to get hammer and anvil charges, or you go after... oh, jeez. Archer units. Good lord. Oh. I thought it was the Cav for a second that was running away, but it wasn't. Not yet, at least. Meanwhile, over here, Welsh mailed swordsmen are routing. Now they are breaking. These mailed swords, though, holding on for dear life. What's going on over here? Longbowmen coming over here to bog down the Huskarls, perhaps. And these guys... Are they gonna... They're gonna charge into the back, I would imagine? I mean, they're winning decisively. That's what I would do. I mean, if they're out of ammo, that's fine. But just send them on in. Let them fight. So far, though, the right flank over here is going pretty swimmingly for Wales. They've managed to break through. They can move about pretty freely, charge into the rear of the attacking line of Vikings, and that is exactly what they're doing. And these guys are going to start to get cut down pretty ferociously. Let's see here now, yeah? Slow us down a wee bit. Naturally, we're going to look for something cool, if we can find it. Yeah, Thrones of Britannia is... I know it wasn't well received, and I understand why. The campaign mechanics on the campaign map weren't necessarily great. I definitely hate the building, how the building slots work. I cannot stand how the building slots work in this game. But the battle mechanics, pretty solid. I especially enjoy how the Cav reacts. I feel like the Cav, pardon me, reacts to your mouse clicks so much quicker and more, it's a lot snappier as compared to Rome 2, which I appreciate greatly. Come on now. He just stabbed him in the gut. Did you see that? That dude should be dead. He did it again! Guy's still standing. Abs made of steel. That dude got hit in the face. Right through the ear. Totally unrealistic. Not immersive at all. Negative 10 out of 10. Okay, so... Come on, dance for me, monkeys. Somebody do something cool here. There's no one fighting. Actually, that's kind of cool with the mountain in the background. Looks like this dude's stabbing that guy. Let's go with that. Kaboom. Alright. I didn't say ka-chow because I didn't want to get sued by Disney. Anyway. What do we have going on? What tomfoolery is going on over here? Longbowmen taking on Huskarls. That's hilarious. But you know what? This dude is getting distracted by a bunch of longbowmen. With a double silver chevron unit that's 156 men at 160. This dude should be over here, getting into the rear. But he's getting distracted by a bunch of longbowmen. Great axes moving around, but here we go. Big charge coming in against the general here. 53 men left. Winning decisively, but for how long is that going to hold true? Mailed swordsman doing what they can. Holding on for dear life. Now they... Oh my goodness, he's getting absolutely dog-piled on. And this guy is going to be done for pretty soon, I would imagine. Where's their general, actually? Still kind of just hanging out. Swords, herdsman, I guess probably came back. But how many free units does he have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free units to move around as he sees fit. Balance of power is definitely in the favor of Wales. and while these Huskarls are not paying attention, their friends are getting absolutely slaughtered over here. Swords, herdmen trying to keep their morale up, but they were just wavering for half a second. Here we go. Hearthguard general starting to waver. Valley Spearmen not doing too hot. But the Berserkers here also not doing too good. They are losing. I would imagine that slowly but surely that's going to switch to losing decisively. Vikings trying to do what they can to countercharge so they don't get surrounded, but in doing so, of course, they're alleviating some of the pressure on Wales. And Wales is now just going to put even more pressure on the Vikings general here. Down to 34 men, and he broke. He's routing now. He isn't completely broken yet, but he is routing. Same with some Valley Spearmen here. No surprise, though. They've been in it for a long time so far. They're going to pull on back. That's good. How are we doing with the... Again, still. Just completely oblivious to the fact that... that this is going on. Oh, even better. This is going to be over quick now. Winning decisively, wavering already just because the general died. Against longbowmen, he's wavering. They've all broken over here. They're wavering. Shattered, actually. They're not coming back. This is the only unit that's left, and then that is it. My goodness. That was a fun one. Now, do we get to see... oh yeah, we do. Okay, cool. Man, it's a lot of units to go over. That's all right. All right. Snowman getting 3,246 kills. General and cavalry 45, 44, 121. Are these the longbowmen? Or no, these are the Valley Spearmen. 40, 46, 99, 19. What do we have here? Is this still Valley Spearmen? Royal Spearmen. 96, 107, 109, 75. Welsh Swords. 86. Mailed Swordsmen. 218, 67, 70, 82, 9, 141, 200. Not bad. What do we got here? Welsh Mailed Axemen. 153, 74, 138, 153, Longbowmen 125, 178, 126, 123, 91, 99, 98, and 60. Good Lord, he really hammered away with those bows, huh? And then the Welsh Horsemen 114 and 40. Wait a second. What are these? Oh, these are just Levy Spearmen. Wow, 121 for Levy Spears, not bad. And then the Crazy Duck playing as the Vikings. 87 for his general. Sword Herdman, 107, 57, 113, 109. Sword Herseer, 46, 87. Huskarls, 357, not bad. 175. Joms Viking, 155, 74. Long Axes, 0. Viking Marauders, 14. These are the guys that just got shot to death. More Viking Marauders. 73, 47, 75. Great Axes, 50. 122. Axe Herseer, 35. 153. Shield Biters, 48. Mailed Huskarls, 9. Berserkers, 157. 148, not bad. And then the poor Bowman. The Viking hunters and armored archers 1, 3, 23, 8, 24, 61, and 0. Yeah, Snowman did not allow his archers to have any shots whatsoever. Jeez Louise. That was cool though. I enjoyed that one. We don't really see coastal assaults very often, especially in Rome 2, but that's really mostly because the naval units have reduced unit numbers most of the time. So you can't really, unless like you're paying out the ass for ships, and then you have decent sized numbers. But yeah. Anyway, all right. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I certainly did. Hopefully we get some more Thrones of Britannia battles, especially some siege battles and whatnot. But yeah, with that being said, have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are while you're watching. Just have a good one. Peace out, guys.